Hello everyone, you're watching Newcastle United Life and Times YouTube channel. My name's Rob Britt, and on today's show we have Len and Paul, and we're here to discuss the result last night. Newcastle United 0, Borussia Dortmund 1. Paul, you were at the game last night. What was your take on the match?
Yeah, I thought on my way at the game, I thought, oh, this is going to be a good night. You know, another win in the Champions League. Great atmosphere. On my way, like, I seen it took us about an hour to get to the match, like, because I parked the car about 5 miles from the ground, and it was a bit of a nightmare.
Paul, did anybody offer to look after your car for you by any chance?
No, it wasn't one of them situations. It was in a posh built-up area that I parked at.
Well, you've always got to pay them, Paul. Don't forget.
So I never park outside of Rob's house. I always park somewhere, you know, further.
Put your hand in your pocket, man, and pay for the parking ticket, man, in the city centre.
No
chance.
Okay. No. Right. So anyway, you were at the match last night, and
yeah, I thought I'll go a little bit early and get the atmosphere. And obviously, it was lashing down last night, wasn't it? But I don't know. From the start, it just didn't seem right. It was a good atmosphere, but I expected more. Like, when I got in, I was right next to their fans. They were quite loud, especially that drummer who never stopped for night. I've still got a headache this morning off him. It was a bloody nightmare, him. And obviously, when the match, the atmosphere at the start was all right. The match kicked off. They had a few chances. It was pretty end-to-end, wasn't it? The conditions weren't helping our passing game, I don't think. Obviously, just approaching half-time when they got the goal, I think it was a slight mistake. Apparently Gordon was fouled in the build-up to the goal. We were quite high up, so I didn't see it. Apparently got his shirt pulled, and then
I did.
It led to them scoring, apparently.
Actually, talking about that, Paul, they highlighted it on the telly. You know, they showed the replay, and the commentator said, you could see the referee could see standing right in front of him, and they replayed it back. And as they quite rightly said, how did the referee not see that?
Then it led to the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then obviously the second half, we had a bit of a go. Hit the woodwork twice, and Wilson should have scored, shouldn't he, really? But I thought, to be honest, the first half were quite naive. I thought you can tell we've just sort of got back into the European competition, and they're like season campaigners, aren't they? They've been in it probably 25 to 30 years now. And you can just see the confidence in their side. They packed the midfield, stopped with getting the ball through the middle. Defended well, because I've got some big lads, haven't they, on that side. They're quite a big side, like. Well organised. I think they've done the homework on me. I think a draw probably would have been a fair result on the night, because I thought we had a go second half. But just obviously losing Isak early on, and then Murphy didn't help matters. I think it just disrupted we a bit. We'll probably put Wilson on earlier than we thought we were going to. I thought Longstaff and Joe Linton were off the pace last night.
Mm-hmm.
Bruno was okay, and I thought Gordon he's getting better, Gordon. I think he's been fantastic this season, Gordon. And then obviously Willock coming on, like, I think somebody mentioned in the podcast the other night, he might be on the bench, Rob, did they?
Yeah, you did. I mean, I was quite surprised that he brought
it was
him
me,
on.
was it? Oh, right. Okay.
I was quite surprised he brought him on. I was actually quite surprised he was on the bench, but there you go.
Like I say, he's trained for a good 10 days now, and it's just good to see him coming in, especially with the injuries. Apparently Anderson's out now with a back injury. Murphy's dislocation, I've heard before. Isak's going to miss the next 5 games up till the next international break. Obviously Tonali's banned today, so I don't know. We need players back, don't we? Obviously Livramento and Hall and players like that might get a go now, young Miley. So all in all, a bad result, but we can't be too disheartened. You know, we're still joint second, even though it goes on back-to-back games. Not.
Can you explain that? Can you explain that to me, Paul?
I don't understand why have goal difference. If you're behind someone, you're 3 goals better off. What's the point? So anyway, that was my take on that. I'll not be too disheartened. We gave it a good shot. On another night, get one of them chances goes in. It's a different game, and 1-0 off Borussia Dortmund when we're fighting relegation 2 years ago. It's not bad, really.
Well, exactly. That's exactly how I think you've got to look at it. Len, what was your take on the game?
Hey, well, Paul, can I just say, first of all, I think you've been reading my mind because I think you've covered absolutely everything I was going to say, but I'll just say it in a slightly different way. For me, our first 15, 20 minutes in the game, I was thoroughly enjoying it. I thought this is an absolute cracker. You know, the weather just made it even better, particularly because I was sitting in the house. But I just thought it was just end-to-end stuff. Keepers were tested at both ends. I think there was 5 or 6 chances in the first 20 minutes. The commentators were loving it. I thought, here we are. We're up for it here. I was very impressed with Dortmund. I think it was great they came out the way they did and attacked from the start. So even allowing for what the final result was, I thought it was a fantastic game, and many neutrals will have watched that thinking that. But obviously, from a Newcastle supporter's point of view, I'm a little bit disappointed because I think approaching the kickoff, I sort of thought, oh, if we get a draw here, I'll not be. In fact, I think I actually said, if we'll get a draw, I'm not going to be crying about it. I think it'll be a good result. And we start off really good, sort of faded off a little bit. I think it was fairly even in the first half. I think we're a little bit better in the second half, hitting the bar twice. You know, that's a bit unlucky. That I thought that last one was going to go in with the last kick of the game, and then we would have got, as you say, Paul, what you would say is a well-earned draw. But that wasn't to be. And yeah, I think what you're saying there about the midfield, you know, wasn't operating quite as good as what it was. I thought Miggy had an okay game. Gordon was man of the match for me. I thought Gordon had a good game, and Trips was here, there, and everywhere. He was sprinting from one end of the pitch. He was taking throw-ins over there, corners down here. So he had yet another good game. And the bright spark, I suppose, was that Willock came off the bench. So whilst we've lost Anderson, it appears today he's going to be out for a few weeks with a back injury. Willock's in there and he's made an appearance, so hopefully he can make a contribution over the next couple of days. And Matt Targett came on and nearly provided an assist for the winner. So I think all in all, in my honest opinion, I think 1-0 was about right. I do. I'm not saying we didn't deserve something out of it, but I think, you know, the way the game went, they were better than us. You can tell they've played in Europe. And, you know, but it's you know, we've won 1, drawn 1, lost 1. And if you'd said at the beginning to me, you know, after 3 games, you know, you're going to have 4 points, I would have been delighted. So that's where we are. But it's going to be difficult to go over there in 2 weeks' time and get a result. But you know, we need to get at least a point when we go over there, I think. So yeah, it was a good match and slightly disappointing result, but loads of positives going forward, I think. Apart from the fact we've ended up with 2 or 3 injuries, which Paul, you've already touched on. You know.
Well, I can't really add any more than that. I think you've just literally between the 2 years you've covered everything. Yes. I mean, we'll have got to go over there in a couple of weeks' time, but we've got to go over there with no fear. You know, I know it wasn't the ideal result we wanted last night, but we're still in it. You know, we're still in with a shout. In over 90 minutes, I've always, you know, I said the other night, we can go anywhere in this competition, and I still stand by that. Because
I think the worrying thing is, though, Rob, with the injuries in it, you need to go to these pitches with a full squad.
I know.
Especially up front, if you're going to be expecting Wilson to play 3 games a week for the next 3 weeks, it's not going to happen. He's going to have to end up putting Gordon up front, isn't he? And maybe it's Joe Linton wide left or something like that. I don't know.
I'm still quietly confident that we can get through the qualifying, the knockout rounds.
Well, Rob, I think we'll beat Milan at home. I'm sort of hanging my hat on that one, really, quite literally hanging my hat on it. That we'll get the 3 points against Milan and we'll pick something up in either one of the away games and we'll sneak through. The way you look at that league now, though, it's going to be an exciting finish.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's closer than what we thought. I still think Milan might drop out, and that's, you know, that leaves it for us. You know, I think you know, we can still qualify, but we've just got to do it maybe the hard way.
Yeah, we've done it. You know, it's not impossible. So. Yeah, it is. That's the roundup on last night's game. So, yeah.
Can I just mention as well, I thought the referee was diabolical last night.
Well, I think
he had absolute stinker.
I think you're being quite kind with that remark, because to see someone try to pull someone's pants down when you're literally, 10 foot away from it, play on. I mean, someone put that in a postcard and explain that to us.
Was that the Wilson?
Yeah.
You want to have a look if you can, Paul. You'll not believe it. How close was the referee, do you reckon, Rob?
Well, he's seen it. He could not see it. He was that close.
Waved it away,
So,
didn't he?
you know, it is what it is. It's gone. It's gone. Game's gone. We beat 1-0. We're still in with it, and that's after 3 games. If someone had said to me at the start of the competition, after 3 games, you're still going to be in with a shout of qualifying, yeah, I'll take that. No problem.
I think Eddie Howe summed it up when he said, "You've got in games like this against big, tough opposition, you've got to be on it from start to finish. You've got to be playing at your maximum." And last night we weren't quite at our best.
Yep.
I've seen a stat today. Apparently, he's the first referee a game in the Champions League with a glass eye. Is that right?
Was that 2 glass eyes?
No, he had what? He had a glass eye and an eye patch on. Apparently.
Oh. Right. Okay. So yeah, we know Paul's feelings on the referee last night. So we'll swiftly move on to the Wolves game on Saturday, 5:30, live on Sky Sports. How do you see this one going, Len?
Well, I'm looking forward to it because I think, you know, the bread and butter really is the Premier League. So, you know, despite what we've spoken about there, we can sort of push that to one side for a few days and concentrate on getting 3 points on Saturday. I've looked at the fixtures coming up, various competitions, you know, with the cup games, the Champions League and the Premier League. And really, you know, not to put too much pressure on the lads on Saturday, it's got to be 3 points against Wolves. Simple as that. So I think it's going to be tough because, you know, we've spoken about the injury situation and the team's almost going to pick itself for Saturday. He's got very few options and also very few options from the bench. But I believe if we played like we did last night against Wolves and against the majority of Premier League opposition, we'll come away with a positive result. So we just need to keep doing it, and I think we will. We'll just keep playing the way we play. You know, next time it won't hit the bar; it'll go in the back of the net. And I think, providing we play like that on Saturday, I think we'll win. The team practically picks itself. I'm concerned about up front. I've always thought we needed to sign a third striker. Wilson's, as you say, Paul Wilson's not going to play the next 3 or 4 games in a row. It's as simple as that. He just doesn't, and he won't. And to have to put a midfielder up front, I think that shows that, you know, come January, we must sign a third striker. And I think it might give us the opportunity to see the 2 lads that came in the summer that have hardly had a sniff, Livramento and Hall. They can play not only as full-backs, where they're not getting a sniff, but then both play in midfield positions. So I can see both of them possibly being involved on Saturday. It'll be good to see them. So I think we'll go there, and I think we will win the game.
Right, before we move on to Paul, then, you know, I like this bit. What's your prediction for Saturday?
Well, you know, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to think of something different, but I'm going to go for 2-1. You know,
again,
well, I'm wrong every time, so this time I might be right. I'm going to go for 2-1. Wolves do score the odd. You know, they are scoring sort of 1 or 2 goals a game. We're scoring 3 or 4 on average this season, but I don't think we'll do that down there. I think it'll be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a classic, but I think we'll have enough. And I think 2-1 to Newcastle United. I'll give him my goal scorers, save you asking. Obviously, Dan Burn will score one of them.
Obviously.
Back post header, and Miggy will get the other one.
Okay, excellent. Paul?
Well, I think it's going to be quite a tough game, I think, because they beat Man City the other week, didn't they? I think they're more attacking this season than they were under the previous manager. Gary O'Neill's sides like to have a bit of a go, don't they? So I think, obviously, with the injury, like Len says, the injury situation, that the team picks itself, really. I don't think Botman will be back for this. I think that'll be another week for him. So, what we're going to go...
I want you to do yours first, because if I do mine and you were going to say what I was going to say, I would rather hear what your natural, honest prediction is. I don't want me to influence it in any shape or form.
Well, why don't we say the prediction together?
No, just I've got my prediction. You know, don't be shy. Come on. Well, listening, we're waiting.
Right. Let us finish talking about the match first, Rob. I know you're a little bit impatient. I think it will be a difficult game, and I don't think we've got the best of records. I nearly said it. Is it still Molineux? Is it? They keep changing the names of the grounds, don't they?
Sounds like
Is
it's
that
still
still known
Molyneux.
as
Who knows?
Molyneux, is it? Right.
I might check that up. We'll check that up.
I think that will be. I think it will be a tough game. But like
Molyneux,
I
you're
said before, I think we do need to win it, like, because we have got some tough games coming up, and that squad's going to be well stretched. But I'm going to go 1-0, and I think Anthony Gordon will get the goal. There you go, Rob.
Yeah. Right. I can't really touch on anything more you've said there. Yeah, I think it'll be a tight game. I think Wolves will come out attacking. I don't think they're going to sit back. I think they will definitely have a go. I do think... I think we will beat them, and I'm going to go 3-0.
Whoa.
Hang on a minute. Where's that come from?
That's outrageous, that, Rob.
I think we might just beat them 3-0.
3-0.
That's a hell of a might just beat them.
3-0. That's my prediction.
I might put 50 pence on that, like.
3-0.
Hey, I hope you're right, Rob. I'll be delighted on Saturday night if that's the result.
I mean,
what channel is it on? Is it on Sky?
It's on Sky, yeah.
Oh, good.
5:30, yeah.
He's on a roll, then. You got last week's prediction right, didn't you, Rob?
Hey, I know. Hey, you've got to have faith in Rob. I mean, with his predictions.
Well, I got last night's wrong. Well, I didn't get it right. I said 1-0, but it was the wrong way around, wasn't it? So it's
you also gave a goal scorer and you didn't give a Dortmund goal scorer, so that's a bit of a giveaway, Rob.
It's this is what it is. This is what it is. But yeah, 3-0, that's what I'm going for. And we'll see how it pans out. It's like I say,
we need to keep the run going in the league, don't we? I mean,
we need to stay in the pack, We need to stay in the pack. I think last night's game, I mean, it might probably take a little bit out of the players, possibly. But I think there's a lot of fringe players or players that don't get an opportunity to start every game. I think it'll not be long before we start seeing them as well.
Well, that's what I think. Because if you think, do you know the Man City game where, like, I know Hall didn't have a great game, but Livramento was outstanding. So I've got no qualms with either of them two coming in at some stage in the next, in the next 2 or 3 weeks. They'll be champing at the bit. They'll be as fit as fiddles, and they'll be dying to get in the team. And the same with Willock. Willock, I heard him on an interview on TalkSport today, and he's just desperate to get in there and prove his fitness. And I think that him coming back's come at a great time, because although we've lost Anderson unexpectedly, you've then got Willock you can bring into the mix. So I think there was enough positives out of that, loads of positives in that 90 minutes. We created loads of chances. We had 60% possession, loads of chances. We're just unlucky on the night. So if you take the finals, if we had scored it with that last ditch effort that hit the bar, we'd all be dead confident going into Saturday. So there's no reason why we shouldn't still be that way.
Exactly.
Another worry, though. There's another worry.
What's the worry?
Bruno on 4 bookings.
I saw that, actually.
One more booking. I mean, you didn't want him booked and then missed. Which is it? Just the league games that would miss, or is it like a cup game, or what would happen? Is it just league?
No, I think it's any games, isn't it?
No, I thought it was, yeah.
Yeah, just any games.
So he could miss potentially Dortmund if he got booked in one of the game before that or something. I don't think it would count Champions League, sure.
I don't know, but
domestic.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
But either way, if this is where the Tonali situation is unfortunate, because you could sort of mix and match, if you like, leading up to the big games. And if Bruno did get suspended, you can bring Tonali in. I think Willock coming back, it's going to be too soon probably to consider him for coming on, starting matches and playing 90 minutes. I think he's going to be but again, if he was fully fit, and maybe in a week or two's time he will be, he might have to step in if Bruno gets suspended, because he's, you'd still have Joe Linton in the midfield. I don't know what his booking situation is.
Well, I think they might have to move Willock to the left if Gordon has to go up front. I think you'd rather see him there than Joe Linton.
I think we need to cross. I don't need to cross that bridge when we come to it, really, because I think Wilson might just surprise me. I don't think he will, but he's a great player with a great attitude to the game, and I'm sure he'll be doing everything to keep himself fit and get a little run in the team. He's always crying on, as Isaac is, and many players, that he's not getting a run in the team because they're all.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it, Len? Is he just sort of rotating them because he feels the need to, or they're asking to be rotated, or what? I mean, Wilson might be able to play 3 games in a week. I don't know. Could he?
I don't know.
He might have to.
We've never really seen it, though. I mean, he's always...
I think it's a
get
stretch.
an hour out of him, you know what I mean? At least get an hour out of him and then, change it.
Well, that's it. You can get an hour out of him, take him off, move Gordon in the middle, and as I said, Joe Linton up the left, or bring, I don't know, somebody else on in that position. So there's lots of opportunities for the fringe players to come in. It's just the centre forward position and the actual the goals that were produced. If Isak is out for a few weeks and Wilson does get injured, it is very worrying.
The problem is the other week Eddie Howe gave an interview, didn't he? And he was asked about the forward situation, and he said, "Well, if Isak gets injured or Wilson, he says I've got Gordon or Murphy, but Murphy's injured as well, isn't he? So you're down to 2 out of the 4 now. So if anything happens to Anthony Gordon, on that day."
And that's why I think this Saturday's match is really important. We've still got a kind of good team out there. So get them 3 points in the bag. And then if you do suffer injuries going forward, you've still got the confidence and still got that run going of good performances. Because, you can play good every week. You're not going to win every week. We played well last night. We didn't win. We lost. We could play bad at the weekend and still get the 3 points. But we do generally play well every week, and we've got to keep that going. And whilst Wilson's in there, he's got to get in there and bang a goal in on Saturday. Not that I've predicted he is, but hopefully he will do.
Fingers crossed. But one good thing is, I mean, other people are chipping in with goals as well. So that gives us a bit of confidence.
Well, top scorers in the league, aren't we?
We're not solely relying on our strikers. We've got other people chipping in. So, it's not all doom and gloom. It's not ideal, but,
No.
You know what is that? I think it is. I think we've just got used to not losing games. So I think last night, regardless of the opposition and the competition, I think we're just maybe going to have to get used to losing a game every now and then, because we've got so used to being on top in these games and coming out on the winning side. We just need to get used to every now and then we're going to lose a game.
Right, everyone, on behalf of myself, Len and Paul, we'll see us all on Sunday for the Wolves review show. Take care, everyone, and enjoy your weekend.
Cheers.